You're listening to the Impact Implosion on the Angry Marks Podcast Network.
Welcome, everybody, to this episode of the Impact Implosion for September 20th, 2012. My name is Sept Draken, and as always, my co-host is Mike Poland.
Hello, hello.
This week's episode will be called, sadly, Open Snooze Night. If you haven't guessed, this Impact sucked.
Yeah, pretty much. We've had 2 pretty good months of it, and now it's not so good this week.
I know. But before that, we got some news. We got some bit of news. Yep, we always do have news. Most of the time, anyways. We got an interview with Rob Terry where he said he wants to be the face of TNA.
I'm sorry.
Rob Terry, all I have to say, Rob Terry, is I know I like how you have your dreams high, kid, but don't quit your day job on that.
Sorry, Rob. Unless you're gonna ditch Robbie E anytime soon.
No, unless you can wrestle. Start wrestling better. And not botch every time you... And not be a walking botch machine.
A botch machine. A botch bot. I am botch bot.
Brooke Hogan dyed her hair black.
Yes, she was still blonde for this week's Impact, somehow.
I don't think she was there for this week's Impact.
Yes, she was. She was backstage talking to Tara after Tara tried to
get up she was. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
I didn't cover it in the recap, but yeah, I saw it.
Yeah,
her hair was not black. Yeah, she didn't do a good job dyeing it.
Yeah, or she just decided, yeah, this ain't gonna hide me from the aces and eights, so might as well keep it blonde.
Damn it. They're gonna rate you still.
Yeah, the aces and eights can still find you.
And they'll probably hit you on the head with a hammer, just like they did with the Jealous of Parks, which we'll get into in a minute.
Yeah. Matt Morgan signed back with TNA.
Sure he did.
No, he did. Unfortunately, because of the whole the situation with WWE not hiring anyone from TNA, he had to sign back to TNA.
Uh-huh. Sorry, Matt. You're not... At least you won't have to go back to being a stuttering guy.
Yeah. Mark Haskins, if you remember him from some of the European house shows, TNA house shows,
the guy
got
that
released.
Bought the shooting star the guy that bought the shooting star press on his neck, and TNA played that clip for like 2 months straight.
Yeah, and he got released today.
He's been injured for like the last year, so why does that matter?
Yeah. Also, someone else, a different report is saying Christian's not going to be the person inducting Sting into the Hall of Fame. It's going to be Lex Luger.
Can he afford to pay me?
Do they have enough money to pay him?
I don't know! What kind of disgusting, despicable...
Yeah, anyways, that's all we have for right now, and we got to talk about this week's episode of Impact.
Snooze Pack. It's Snooze Pack.
God, yeah, it was...
It's Net Pack.
It was bad. Anyways, Impact kicks off with Kurt Angle and AJ Styles heading to the ring. They talk about recently being the tag team champions and getting screwed by Daniels and Kaz, then getting their title shot and getting screwed by Daniels and Kaz again. Of course, they forgot to mention the Appletini that got thrown in their face as well.
It burns the eyes.
Yeah, it does. Hernandez and Chavo Guerrero came out. So, and because
Angle and AJ challenged them.
Yeah, because apparently there can't be 2 number 1 contenders, so they got to decide which ones face them at Bound for Glory. This was an okay match, and the sad part is, besides this in the main event, these were the only 2 good matches. matches that were acceptable.
Right.
And what I mean by acceptable, I meant they didn't have BS endings.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, actually, this match had a BS ending.
But it's one that kind of plays off into what we're going to see at Bound for Glory in a couple weeks.
Yeah, it was a no contest because Kaz and Daniels interfere. And Kaz and Daniels are apparently idiots because they forget that anytime you do that, you're gonna put yourself in a worse situation. So Hogan comes out and tells, Hogan comes
Gotta stop drinking those Appletinis, Daniels.
Yeah, he says he's got 99 problems and Aces and Eights is the biggest one.
And the bitch ain't one.
Yeah, before I forget, Shaquille O'Neal was in the building. I forgot about that.
Yes, Hogan brought Kazam with him.
Yeah, he did. But anyways, he says that he's sick of the controversy in the tag division, so he sets up a triple threat tag title match for the pay-per-view.
Yay. Didn't see that coming at all.
Daniels and Kaz are pissed, even though they should be pissed at themselves. They're idiots.
Yeah.
Then, backstage, Al Snow is interviewed on his way to Hogan's office to discuss his actions last week. But he talks about this week's gut check and puts over it. It's over the kid. We have Hulk Hogan backstage on the phone with Joseph Park, who says he's on his way to the Impact Zone and has the evidence.
Yes, he does. But we'll find out what happens to that in a little bit.
Hogan says that security you can pass security, even though not saying, when you get here, security will be escorting you to my office.
You dumbass, brother.
Anyways, we had Dixie Carter yelling at Bruce Pritchard because they can't figure out who's behind Aces and Eights.
She doesn't love him.
Yeah. Al Snow interrupts them. He leaves, and those two discuss business. What they discuss, we don't know.
We don't care.
Anyway, we have a gut check match with this 18-year-old kid named Evan Markopoulos.
All right. I've got something to go into here.
He's years old, but has 5 years experience, which means he started wrestling at 13.
Which I'm wondering if that's even legal, for one thing.
Well, apparently it is if you have your parents' consent.
All right, that makes sense. But anyway, I got something to go into here, and it's
not professionally though, but in independent circles.
Right. As I was trying to say, I know obviously I'm from the Northeast, but I've never seen this Markopoulos guy before. Now, so and he's not ready. He's too young. Stay on the indies, kid. You're too young right now to be ready. This was somebody else that I've seen more like a Julian Starr, Brian Fury, or Cameron Matthews. I'd be all over. I'd be a little bit more partial to them, but you're not ready, guy. This match went 3 minutes, and you got beat, and stay on the indies for a few more years and come back, in 2 or 3 years, and maybe you'll be ready then.
Well, he got Douglas Williams, and oh boy, was this a bad move.
Oh,
because
God.
Douglas Williams, for some reason, either he got told the back to do what he did, or he just decided that he's going to make this kid look stupid. He just completely shot on this kid. This kid was dizzy after some of them and all he got was a standing drop kick. But that was it. Daniels just punched and kicked this kid, and those were legit punches and kicks. He was beating the shit out of this kid.
No better way to show this kid wasn't ready than by having him get legit beat down by a crusty old British guy.
Yeah. Then he took him down to the mat, had an easy submission on which the kid tapped out at about 2 seconds. Because he probably really had the kid in the submission. He wasn't letting go of that. He didn't. Even after the bell, he didn't let go for a few minutes. So apparently Douglas Williams was in a bad mood.
These fuckers won't book me. I'm gonna beat the hell out of this kid.
No, he's backstage. He's basically like one of the guys backstage now. He's mostly that. He's like Finley was in the WWE later years.
Somebody peed in his coffee?
No, I just think he was mad for some reason. Something happened.
Damn, that's
Anyway, we go back to James Storm and Bobby Roode's video package.
Mm-hmm.
Storm comes down in the ring and said last week he's calling out Rude because it's open fight night. He tells Rude it's going to be not going to be a wrestling match, but it's going to be a man-kicking coward's ass match.
Yep.
Rude answers the call in a full suit and tie. He says
everybody wrestles in a full suit and tie.
He's not prepared to fight and says Storm will never, ever, ever be as good as him, and Storm will never, ever be world champion as long as he is wrong in this company and he refuses to fight. He says this feud is over between them and tells Storm to fight somebody else before walking off. Rude goes backstage and Hogan tells him you can't do that. Dude, he told you a week ago he's calling you out. You mean you couldn't show up to this goddamn building prepared? That's your goddamn fault. So he says he's got 3 minutes to make up his mind. He can fight or Hogan will freeze his pay and take away any future title matches so he can take the rest of the year off. And so he's like, God dang it. So yeah, we had a match between James Storm and Bobby Roode, which was not a match, it was a complete fight, and Earl Hebner had to basically disqualify both these two because they were just they were just shoving the referee around. They didn't care. They were just fighting through the crowd. They just basically didn't give a crap. So, yeah. 2 matches. We had 3 matches, and 2 of them ended in draws.
He's gonna
nice.
Oh.
Then we had backstage. Hogan is in back with a security guy who says Joseph Parks is in the arena, but they can't find him.
Gee, I wonder where he is.
Happened. You left him on his own when he entered the building.
Gee, I wonder what could have happened here.
Aces and Eights, who apparently have a lawyer of their own, and Hogan says he's going to give it some quick thought. Backstage, we have Austin Aries finding Jeff Hardy backstage. Aries makes a comment on Hardy's creepy eye paint.
Open your eyes, and I'll take my sunglasses off.
My eyes are open. Dude, no, they're not. Stop lying to stop being the kid who closes their eyes and says, my eyes are open, I'm not sleeping in class.
I was that kid.
No teacher fell for that then. I'm sure no teacher's fallen for it now.
I hated science class. I was that kid.
Yeah. Aries says the fans are confused because they think Bound for Glory is all about Hardy coming after the title. But Hardy has something the champ wants. Aries says he's still hungry and wants all the things that Hardy has and accomplished in professional wrestling. No, you don't, Aries. You don't want all the things Hardy has.
You want some of them. You don't want the bad. You want the good stuff that Hardy's done. You don't want the bad, Aries.
You don't want to come into a pay-per-view high off your ass.
Well, I mean, Jeff Hardy wasn't the first person to do that, although Scott Hall was drunk.
You don't want to have your house burned down and your dog die.
You don't want to have your brother run you off the road with a car.
Yeah, while you have your girlfriend with you.
And you
don't want to have your brother filming you looking like a complete idiot.
Well, I mean, that's both of them these days, but anyway.
Well, yeah. You don't want anything like that. You don't want a lot of what Jeff Hardy has. Then we have Tara making her way out to the ring to a few boos. She gets more of them because every knockout's been asking why she did what she did to her BFF, Miss Tessmacher.
Because she wants the friggin' title.
Who used her to get on TV with her signs. She says that her new Hollywood boyfriend, who is a star, geez, I wonder who that is, reminded her of what it takes to be a champion.
Who is that?
I think it's Joey Ryan.
Uh-oh.
What do you think? He's Hollywood. He's a star in quotation marks. He is from Hollywood, California, so, yeah, I believe that's going to happen.
Joey Ryan found his way in.
Yeah, so Tara says it's open fight night, and she challenges Christy Hemme.
And she basically brings her in the ring and bullies her. Yeah,
she says, who's your favorite knockout? Christy says right now it's Tessmacher. Tara bullies her until Miss Tessmacher enters the ring and runs Tara off. What a waste of a segment. And what a waste of my freaking time. Backstage,
Impact's in the toilet.
Mentioning Brooke Hogan is yelling at Tara about her actions and calling out Chrissy Emmy. Tara doesn't give a crap about anything.
There will be consequences next week.
Yeah, next week there will be consequences.
I'm sure Tara's shaking in her shoes.
It says she's not in TNA to make friends. She's there to win championships.
I'm sure Tara's shaking in her shoes at Brooke Hogan's consequences.
Oh, God, no. Yeah. Then we had Hulk Hogan come out. He makes a comment about spray paint that goes way over anyone's head. I don't even know what he said. I think I'm going to spray paint you dead or something.
I'm gonna spray paint TNA or something. I don't know. I didn't catch it.
TNA dead or something. I don't know what he said.
He's
Anyway,
spray paint TNA dead. Well, okay then.
Aces and Eights kidnap Joseph Parks. No shit.
Yeah.
He says that they're ready to play hardball, and next week he's going to be in their clubhouse. Hogan has to come to their clubhouse.
When did this angle become some kind of shitty thriller movie?
I don't know. Ace and Eight's leader shows up, says they took Parks because he was getting too close to their business. A prospect destroys a computer as Joseph Park looks on behind a cage wall. And he stupidly says, I got it all up here. I got the evidence all up here. Really? Oh, really?
You idiot.
Bulk in the head with a hammer.
Another hammer shot.
Yeah. Maybe this is the end of that stupid angle, but I doubt it.
I hope so.
Well, actually not.
I hope this brings back Abyss.
Yeah.
I hope it brings back Abyss.
Okay. Then we had a video package of Jeff Hardy and Bound for Glory.
And which brings out Austin Aries.
Our final segment or match of the night. The World Heavyweight Champion says it was nice to management to play that Hardy video package right before he was coming to the ring. Aries wants to prove that anything Hardy can do, he can do better, so he's calling out Bully Ray for open fight night. Ray comes out and asks if his hearing is off because he thinks he just got called out. A fan touches him and says that if he gets touched again, he's going to punch somebody in the face.
He says, you look like an Austin Aries fan, and then Aries says,
He says he falls in an Austin Aries fan, and then basically Aries says, I'll punch him in the face after you.
Well, that guy's got no friends in the building.
That's not his fan. Yeah. And then Aries gets touched by another fan. He goes, Bully Ray gets touched by another fan. He goes to look at this fan, and this fan looks freaking retarded. I hate to say that. This guy looks mentally handicapped. And Devon just says, never mind.
Bully Ray.
Yeah, Bully Ray. I'm sorry. Freaking Devon is gone. Oh, yeah.
Oh, speaking of that, they're bringing back the TV title next week.
Championship Thursdays next week, and apparently the TV title's going to be defended or won. There's going to be a new champion. They haven't decided on which.
Who's Robbie E going to beat this next week, I wonder?
If Robbie E is the is the TV champion, I will throw a fit. He sucked.
Oh, you know it's going to happen. They had to find some use out of him.
Yeah. Then we have the match between Austin Aries and Bully Ray. This was okay until the end. Then the ending came up, and Bully Ray wins. Aries has Bully Ray tapping out, but the referee is out. Bully Ray hits Aries with the chain, pins him 1, 2, 3. So get that right, folks. For this month, Jeff Hardy has beaten Bully Ray twice. Aries can't beat him at all. Aries has to Jeff Hardy has to save Aries' ass. Way to sell your world champion, kids.
Yeah. Anyway.
Unless you're making Aries a heel, which is the dumbest decision you could make.
Well, I mean, you're going to make Hardy heel. They tried that before.
Neither of these guys are heels. You can't put Aries as a heel. I'm sorry. You can't. This is stupid. You made your world champion look weak. You did this the whole night. Even he had to mention it with the video package Jeff Hardy before he was coming out. You did this. Why?
Just because.
This is the stuff that I would expect from last year when they were still wanting to hold the older guys up. They wanted to keep the younger guys down.
Well,
that pissed me off. I was just like, what? So you just made the world champion look like a puss out there. Congratulations.
well, they still got 3 weeks left.
Yeah. They still got 3 weeks left. Thank freaking God, because this week, if this was the go-home show, I would not buying the pay-per-view. I'm still not buying the pay-per-view, but I would strongly recommend nobody buy the pay-per-view after that crap.
Right.
That was bad. This week's episode of Impact was bad. And as Kev mentioned earlier, Frank Vaughn's watching the show, watched it last week, liked it. This week, if he's watching it, he's going to be like, what the hell?
Well, maybe they'll talk about it on Tuesday night. I don't know.
No. I've seen WWE Raws that were 2 hours that had more productive than this episode. Lackluster ones that were more to the point than this. This was stupid.
Stupid. What?
I'm mad because TNA had such a good roll, was on a roll. And then they just completely just decided, screw all that.
Yep.
The only thing I have to sell right now, because we are at the end, is that I will be posting the Clash of the Titans remake induction this Saturday, and I have bought the Chikara King of Trios DVDs, so they should be on my house soon.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And I guess I'll sell what I have too, and that is this Saturday night, NCWE is in Bangor at the Cape Heart Recreation Center, featuring WWE Hall of Famer Mr. USA Tony Atlas, along with a ladder match for the Counties title with the criminal Aiden Andrews against Crash Landing. We also have October 12th, IWE back in Brewer, featuring Gino Martino to take on the 7-foot-tall Giant Pharaoh. On October 13th, it'll be a 3-way ladder match in Fairfield for the tag titles, as it will be the Tenacious 2, Team Heart and Soul, and members of the Towers of Pain, Mason X and Andy McKenzie, as well as other matches on the show. And then November 17th, NCWE back in Bangor for a special fundraiser featuring TNA Knockout Madison Rayne versus Mistress Belmont. And then December the 6th, Pro Wrestling Maine will be returning. They haven't announced the venue yet, but on the card will be a steel cage match involving ROH Tag Team Champion Jimmy Jacobs, along with former 10-time WWE Tag Team Champion Billy Gunn, and others. And I'll have more on that in coming weeks, of course. And I guess that's it for me. I hope everybody who listens enjoys the show, and we will be back next week.
I have one more thing to sell. Congratulations to baseball's Washington Nationals for being the first team to clinch the playoffs.
Alrighty. And for Seth Draken, this is Mike Pula, and I say good night to you all. And I hope you all guys stick around to listen to us next week on the Impact Implosion.
We hope Impact is better next week.
Yes.